In a hardcore Pokemon Nuzlocke, if a Pokemon faints, it's gone forever. No items are allowed in battle, and the game will be run in set mode. I'm the second best Nuzlocker in the world.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the f*** up.
And I hope you guys enjoy my attempts at a hardcore Pokemon Nuzlocke of Renegade Platinum. Hack made by Drayano. So we begin the game picking the girl, because the boy's a dope. Named her Poopy, and we name our rival Nolan the liar. Despite his major daddy issues, he gives some pretty good advice. Whoa, wait, you can scoot over to the next patch of grass to avoid the wild Pokemon? Oh my god, this guy's a genius! We get our starter, we fight our rival, and we lose. Okay, well dang, I guess it's time to start over. Pick the girl, Nolan the liar. He's a genius! Beat our rival, got the dex. Next we find a Starly at the lake, and we name him William. And then we wipe. Okay, starting over. The girl, liar. Genius, too easy. Dex, beat the dope. Oh, a Growlithe!
What the dog doing?
Ain't no way I'm gonna let good boy die this time. Frick, dude! So we restart, yada yada yada. We fight our rival back at Jubilife. I lose my Shinx, and then immediately I lose the run. I know. I keep losing because I'm rushing. And so instead I took a day off, I came back and was determined to make this the run. You all know the beginning. We picked the girl, so let's just skip to the fun part. We get our starter on Route 201. Starter, more like fartster. Okay. Next, we get Popo at Lake Verity. Good Girl on Route 202. We get the Old Rod in Jubilife City. On Route 204, we catch Kaido, which guaranteed us a Poliwag back home. We name him Punchface. And then fishing on Route 219, we get a Horsey. And I name him Detective Bluto. Also at Orchestra City, we're given a Beldum from Steven in this game. That's really cool, but I'm getting ahead of myself. First, we run into our rival on Route 203, where we battle, teach him a lesson, and then we run into our encounter, Lotad.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Now, this was a great encounter, as Lotad became Ludicolo, who can either have Rain Dish, which, coupled with leftovers, makes him an absolute tank, or Swift Swim, Swift Swim, which would make him one speedy Life Orb Ninja, which could go along with the name you could give him. You know, the Spanish Inquisition, because,
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
But instead I ran, because I wasn't paying attention. Stupid! And as I ran into the next battle, I realized that, and I was so upset that I was distracted and sort of let Popo die. Yeah, so things aren't going well so far. And I'm stopping the video right here. If you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that big red button, like the video, or to make it easier, just go ahead and hit that watermark over in the corner and you'll be good to go. All right, on to the video. That is until my next encounter. At Orberg Gate, I run into a Riolu who has Steadfast, which later becomes Adaptability when he becomes a Lucario. Not only that, but at Orber Mine, we find an Aaron, who I kill. Yeah, well, who cares, because I got a Lucario that's sick. Now we face the first gym leader, Rourke. Huh, that's funny. It sounds a bit like Rock. I wonder what kind of Pokemon he has. We begin the fight with Lucario. We use Brick Break, and it dies. Next, Brick Break, and again. Yeah, I actually wiped through his entire team with the Adaptability Lucario. However, when the Larvitar comes out, I switch into Doobie so I can steal the Flame Orb. That's gonna be important for later. And after getting our first gym badge, we make our way over to Floroma Town. Our next battle to watch out for was in the Valley Windworks. See, Commander Mars has a Perugly, which has been known to end many runs, so most people go in with the game plan. But not me! I ran in guns a-blazing, which was actually working. Yeah, so I was able to take out all of her Pokemon and only had the Perugly left to deal with. Fake out? No biggie. Sleep? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm forced to switch from Lucario, but then I think up a strat of just switching between Kaido and Good Girl until he has -6 attack. And with his attack so low, I can easily switch into Fartster and take out the Perugly with no worries of losing any Pokemon. Whoops! And so after taking out the commander, I realized that with the death of my partner that I had began my journey with, that I had lost an integral part of my team. Sinnoh is known for heavily lacking fire-type Pokemon, so the loss of Fartster is really gonna have an impact on my run. But not really, because in Renegade Platinum, we're given each of the starter Pokemon from past regions, so for my picks, I get the fire starters. The great thing about this is that I'll be able to get my favorite starter of all time, Typhlosion. But to avoid any mistakes and having him go down early, I put Captain back in the box until he can fully evolve, and bring out the Speed Boost Combuskin instead. Now we finally get access to Honey Trees, which is great in this game, because no longer do you have to wait a few days, you just encounter a Pokemon immediately. So I get a Cherubi from this tree, and I can trade that for a Skorupi, and then I get my chance at a Snorlax, as I can get Munchlax from this tree, but for my first chance, I get a Slakoth. Not what I wanted, but I do get a few chances later, so no big deal. However, I do continue to look for Munchlax, as I can use Doobie-Doo to steal the leftovers from each Munchlax I encounter, and I'm able to get 5 leftovers. Now we go fishing in Eterna City, and we can guarantee ourselves a Dratini, as I'd already encountered a Magikarp and a Poliwag early on. After that, we go back to Eterna Forest at night, and this allows us to have an 84% chance of catching a Misdreavus, which is incredible in this game, as it's also a fairy type. Once it evolves into a Mismagius, it'll be a total monster and a great staple of my team. Wait a second, that's not a Misdreavus. Yep, instead of catching the 84% chance Pokemon, I catch the 8% chance Pokemon. Just my luck. The only bright side is that the Tailo had guts, which makes the Flame Orb not so useless anymore. Next, we head into Mount Coronet, where we get a guaranteed Feebas, and I immediately evolve him. Now this is actually why I picked up the Flame Orb, as Milotic has Marvel Scale, which boosted defense by 50% when inflicted with the status condition. And now it was time for our second gym battle, against Gardenia. And there is a cheese strat in this game where if you use Substitute with the Speed Boost Combustion, her first Pokemon only tries to Stun Spore you over and over, and it never connects thanks to Substitute. And after using Bulk Up a bunch of times, you get max stats in attack, defense, and speed, and then you can one-shot everything with Fire Punch. But am I actually gonna be lame and cheese the second gym like that?
Of course I am!
And after beating Gardenia, we head over to Commander Jupiter, take her out, and then we use True Strategy to guarantee a Gligar with Repel Manipulation. And we luckily win that coin flip and get a Gligar with immunity, which becomes Poison Heal after it evolves, which is incredible. Now the next fight that's supposed to be pretty hard is against Aaron, the first member of the Elite Four. But remember, I'm the second best Nuzlocker in the world, so I'm ready. I lead with Doge, set up a few sword dances, and I'm ready to start attacking. I take out his first Pokemon, and then he sends out his Venomoth. Oh shoot, he put me to sleep? Not. I gave him a Chesto Berry because I knew that was coming, and then one-shot him with a crit for good measure. From here, we get the one-shot on his whole team, and it was just too easy. Next was Fantina, which I borrow another strat from Drew, and I lead with Doobie-Doo, use Captivate on his Drifblim, and if you haven't seen that strat, you can see Drew and Flygon HG do it, and it's an easy way to beat the gym leader. For me, it took over 14 minutes long and was beyond boring, so I'm just gonna skip over it. But if you're curious, go check it out on Drew's playthrough, as he goes way more into depth about it. However, by using these strategies, I feel like I'm making the battles a bit less interesting, because I was borrowing these strategies. Okay, but from here on out, it's all original. Next up was Barry, who didn't put up much of a fight. See, I can do this run without using any pre-planned strategies from other
Not playing around your crits. Very important, always keep...
I know, dear Lord, I know. Oh my God. I would like to say that me starting to play the game blind and also losing a Pokemon had no correlation whatsoever, but as someone with the scientific mind, it's hard not to draw any conclusions here. I get Rapidash on Route 210, name him Horatio. That one's for you, Danny. And then I fail another chance to get a Munchlax on Route 215, and I get Napalm. Next, I make my way to Veilstone City Gym, and now it's time for my fourth gym battle. Maylene sent out Medicham. I send out Punchface to set the rain, and then switch into Dinky, the Milotic, who was pre-burned, and he's able to take out Medicham with the Moonblast. Maylene then sends out Toxicroak, and I immediately switch to Nugget, and he can take the Poison Jab like a champ, and then at the end of the turn gets back to full health. I take out the Toxicroak with the Stab Earthquake. Next up was her Lucario. He tries to go for a Flash Cannon, but we're fine. And then I take out the Lucario with the Oh, never mind. He has a Focus Sash. But she only delayed the inevitable, as after she used a Hyper Potion, I got the one-shot Earthquake on him. And next up was the Machamp. So I switch into Dinky.
Somebody ring the Dinkster!
Dinky easily takes the attack and then uses Moonblast to take down the Machamp the next turn. Next up was the Infernape, and with Dinky so low in HP, I switch out into Kaido. Oh my gosh, that's nothing! And then he gets hit with a crit Rock Slide. Holy crap! But this is Kaido we're talking about. So he easily takes down the Infernape with the Aqua Tail. Next up was her Gallade, but I switch out into Nugget and easily take down her final Pokemon. After obtaining our fourth gym badge, things are going pretty well. I had a cracked team, and to make it even better, I finally get my Munchlax from a honey tree on Route 214. Not only that, but I also get a Pelipper with Drizzle, which will allow me to set up a rain team later. Speaking of rain, our next gym battle is against Crasher Wake, who has a constant rain in his gym. Man, you really need to get your roof checked for leaks, dude.
Where's the leak, ma'am?
And now with our team set and our strategy made, it's time to beat Crasher Wake. We begin the battle with Kaido, and he sends out Quagsire. You can probably tell what I'm going for here. I get off one Dragon Dance, and then he hits me with an Aqua Tail. Not bad damage, but with leftovers and the occasional miss, we're able to get off 5 Dragon Dances. And at this point, Kaido's a beast!
King of the Beasts, Kaido.
I attack with Bounce so I can stall for an extra turn and let leftovers do its thing, and I miss. Well, that's what I get for using an 85% accurate move. I go for it a second time and miss again. This has an 85% chance of hitting, right? Why am I missing so much? I go for it again, and finally, I miss a third time.
Nani?
That is so dumb. And finally, on the 4th try, it hits and I take out the Quagsire. He brings out the Gyarados, who brings me down to +4 attack, but it doesn't matter, because I easily take him down with the single dive. He sends out the Floatzel, and again I get the one shot on him. I'm not sure how anyone could be surprised by this. I mean, it's a widely held belief that one-on-one,
Always bet on Kaido.
Bye, have a great time.
and then he sent out Ludicolo. He used Fake Out, didn't do much damage, and then I used Bounce the next turn, which I was pretty sure would hit, as it had an 85% chance of hitting, and I had already missed 3 times, so what are the odds that I miss a 4th out of 5 times? Whatever. I'll get the kill next turn as long as I don't get crit.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! Here's the
Why does the universe hate me? Who could have expected that Kaido could have lost with how good he was set up? Okay, well, at the same time,
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
next I send out Bebafett, who knew Amnesia, but it didn't matter. He got one shot, and it should have been pretty obvious to me. I gotta get my head back in the game or this freaking Ludicolo's gonna wipe through my entire team. From here, I send out Detective Bluto, get hit hard with an energy ball, and I'm not able to take out the Ludicolo with the signal beam, but I do hit him into the range where he will have to heal next turn, and I confuse him. So from here, he uses a Hyper Potion, I get off one more signal beam, and without wanting to risk Detective Bluto on a confusion chance, I then send out Damn Shoddy, who easily takes the energy ball. Next, he hits himself in confusion while I get a Scald, hoping for a burn, and then he switches. Wow, I've actually never seen an NPC do that before, or even switch a Pokemon in the middle of a... Damn! Wait, he totally just read me and switched into a Pokemon with Water Absorb to make my attack worthless. I then switch into Dinky, who avoids a Hypnosis due to already being burned, and then I easily kill the Poliwrath with a Moonblast. I guess you weren't smart enough to switch out of that one, huh? He then brought out the Ludicolo again, and I switch back into Damn Shoddy while he uses a Hyper Potion. We take the Energy Ball, he gets the Scald, and then I actually get the burn off this time, which was huge. Ludicolo now uses Energy Ball for a second time while I get off a Sword Stance, and now it's come down to this, the only option I see to take down this absolute monster. Now that I've gotten +2 stages of attack, I've got to use Aqua Jet, take down his health by at least half, and then the damage from Life Orb and Burn should be enough to take him down. It'll be one last sacrifice, but this is the only way we can... There's no way! Then I take a look at my Pokemon, and I am not willing to risk Dinky going down to a dumb Energy Ball crit. And Move for sure cannot take one, but I did see that Detective Bluto had Swift Swim, and I know that Kingdra's base speed is way faster than Ludicolo's, so I should be able to outspeed here. Alright, hold up, I'm gonna stop right here. Now you probably remember from earlier that Ludicolo outsped me before, but I didn't, okay? I did not remember that. And I definitely didn't see this in the corner over here, and in fact, I bet you didn't either. So, I guess this one's on both of us. Yep, and with the final loss, we finally have the Ludicolo go down. Yeah, I know, I can easily take out the Sharpedo with Dinky next, but, I mean, I took some major losses here to my future Rain team, no less. We lost Kaido, Detective Bluto, Damn Shoddy too. Oh, and I guess Bebafett as well, but I really didn't care about him. That's what you get for not having Simple. Barry comes out to see me after the gym battle, but I am just not in the mood right now. So now we skip over to our fight at Pal Park, where I fight against Caitlin, who looks oddly familiar to me, and is really hard. I lead with Nugget, who, shocker, easily kills the Gallade. He sends out Empoleon, and due to how incredible Nugget is, I am not willing to risk him on a water or ice type Pokemon in the field, so I U-turn into Dinky immediately, who will take the Hydro Pump, but he missed so it didn't matter. Next I pivot into Umbreon to take the Flash Cannon, and then we begin the whole long drawn out process of whittling away at each other which is really boring, so I'm not going to cover it here. I mean, it lasts a long time, as you can see here, but, you know, I'll just skip over to the important parts. So after the Empoleon finally goes down, he sends out Staraptor, and I'm able to send out Dinky, who can easily take the hit thanks to her Marvel Scale ability buffing her defense. And oh my gosh, that was a crit. This is just sad. And with no fear, I select my move, and then this happens. Dear God, I just barely lived until you notice it. Yep, I'm burned. That means I just lost my best Pokemon. Or at least that's what I thought for a second, until I used my move Aqua Ring, which immediately restored my HP just a bit. And then because I had the Milotic pre-burn before the fight, I was able to give him leftovers, and then heal just enough to where the burn didn't kill. Oh my God, that could have been so bad. I then switch into Captain, who takes a return easily and then one-shots the Staraptor with the crit adaptability flamethrower. Next up was the Metagross, and again, the speedy adaptability Captain easily kills with the flamethrower. Next up was Entei. Wait, whoa, what, Entei? Wait a minute, Castle. Entei, wait, Lady Caitlin? Oh my God, it's a girl from the third movie, but she's all grown up now. Oh my God, that's so cool. Oh, hold on everybody. I got the entire Pokemon fan base giving me a call right now, so I gotta take this. Hello? Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, it's not the girl from the third movie? Oh, okay. I'm an idiot, my bad. Alright, bye-bye now. Dear God, they're so mean. Okay guys, I'm back, sorry about that. So moving on, I switch into Nugget, who easily takes down the Entei, and then when she sends out Alakazam, I pivot into Sting, who can avoid her psychic attack and then easily take down her final Pokemon. And like that, I didn't just take down the girl from the third Pokemon movie. Now I have no clue why, but for some reason I got this bad glitch on my next recording session, so the footage looks kinda bad, so I'm just gonna skim through this section. So I beat Barry at Canalave City, I found a Rhydon, I named him Donk Bonkers, I go up against Byron and then easily wipe out his team to get the next gym badge, and that's, oh wait, I forgot, there was one more thing. I sort of lost Big Chungus to a counter. I know. The Snorlax I was so excited to get, I lost almost immediately. Now it's no point. I think I remember this from Ludwig's run, or at least people saying that they remember this and that it's a nightmare to do.
I remember doing this. This was a nightmare to do.
And I might get a lot of hate for this, but I really didn't find it that difficult. I mean, it could just be because I'm the second best Nuzlocker in the world, but if you just go in focusing on the right side Pokemon and make sure the Blissey is alive, then the right side trainer runs out of Pokemon and it's only a 2v1 after that for the rest of the battle. Next, I head into the temple, I catch myself a Frostlass, and then I name her Harry Potter.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And then we make our way for the 7th gym. Now at the start of the battle, she sends out Abomasnow who sets the hail, but to counter, I sent out Mailman to set the rain. I then switch into Horatio, who should easily be able to take a wood hammer, or not.
That's a nasty crit.
But luckily I'm able to get a jump kick off and take down the Abomasnow. Next up is a Walrein, where I switch from Horatio as there's nothing he could do.
Oh no. Oh my God, that does so much. No crits. Destiny Bonds? There's no shot he just Destiny Bonded.
And with the threat of a rain-boosted Walrein against my team, Ari, you're the only one who could take him down. I send out Doge against the Weavile, who uses a Swords Dance, and then lives my Drain Punch using a Focus Sash. And at this point, I'm not willing to risk Doge going down, so I'm sorry, Horatio.
I'm dying. Help me.
After losing Horatio, I switch into Captain, who outspeeds and takes out the Weavile. Next up, he sends out Mamoswine. And because Captain's weakened by the rain, I switch into Mailman to avoid the earthquake. Oh God, that's not Mailman.
Please tell me it's sashed. It's sashed. It's sashed. It's not sashed.
Nope, it's not sashed. Thanks to me mashing the A button and misclicking, I accidentally sent out Limp Noodle and lost him to a dumb earthquake. From here, I send out Doge, who gets the one shot on the rest of her Pokemon, and with that, we have gotten the 7th gym badge. Next, we head to the Galactic Hideout, where we sneak in with an undercover cop, and we also get to hear Cyrus's big evil speech to his team, which the cop is actually mesmerized by. Wait, he's 27? Oh my God! Dude, he looks like my freaking grandpa! Speaking of grandpa, we make our way into his room, fight, and easily beat him. For now. Now the next fight known for being very difficult is the 12v12 fight on Spear Pillar, where you go against Commander Mars and Jupiter in a double battle with Barry. In this fight, I sent out Mailman to set the rain. I get hit with a Brave Bird by one of the Crobats while the other uses Double Team. However, me and Barry both luckily focus on the Crobat with Double Team and easily take it out thanks to Hurricane never missing in the rain. Next up is Mr. Stinker while I send out Doge. The Crobat goes for a Torment on the Staraptor. The Staraptor takes him down with the Brave Bird, and then the Stunk Tank takes down the Staraptor with the Gunk Shot. Did you get all that? And now the Electivire and Snorlax are sent out. I go for a Swords Dance while they focus on Snorlax, which I'm completely fine with. The Electivire goes down, and we avoid Mr. Stinker's attack. Yanmega sent out, and I try to take it out with a priority move, but it hangs out long enough to take out Snorlax with the Bug Buzz, which actually works better for me, as now he's sent out as Empoleon. I take the Yanmega out next turn, and the other two trade blows. The crazy thing is that the Skunk Tank actually switches to Gastrodon here, while Doge gets a crit Drain Punch on Bronzong, getting the one-hit KO, and the Gastrodon gets hit with the Rain-boosted Hydro Pump. They send out the Kangaskhan, and again, I get the one-hit KO on it with the Drain Punch. Barry hits the Gastrodon with the Grass Knot to knock it out. The Purugly and Tangrowth are thrown out, which was pretty dumb on their part since I got the one-shot on the Purugly using Drain Punch. Empoleon misses the Hydro Pump while the Tangrowth gets a Focus. What? Oh my god. Oh, that was close. But I'm not a weenie who's gonna back down.
You can't hide what's inside.
That's right, I got the power of God and anime on my side. But it doesn't kill. But it didn't matter because we also had the power of friendship, which allowed Barry to come in and save our butt with an Ice Beam. And from here on out, we just 2v1 the rest of our Pokemon, leading to a clean victory. Next, the boss man, who's apparently my age, summons Dialga and Palkia. Oh my god, I can hear my mom now.
Look at that boy. At your age, he's already summoned the god of space and time. Why can't you apply yourself like him instead of making your silly videos in your basement?
Okay, moving on. The crazy part is that when a black hole appears out of nowhere and a giant shadow centipede pops out and spreads its wings, splattering all this stuff around it, is that blood? And his first reaction, oh, interesting. Okay. Oh my god, this guy's nuts! And now in the distortion world, things get pretty trippy. Whoa! And the puzzles here are really hard. Okay, so I got a block here, 3 holes, and the legendary Pokemon is standing right next to the hole closest to the bottom. Oh, I got it. This is just too easy.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And now we make our way into one of the most challenging parts of the run. That's right, the fight against Cyrus. The first part starts with a double battle with both Dialga and Palkia. I send out Dinky and Mailman to set the rain. Mailman uses Protect since Dinky has such high defense, it's obvious they're both going to target Mailman for a kill, allowing Mailman to avoid the Special Rend and Roar of Time, but that only works once, as after I got off a Moonblast on Palkia, I went for a repeat hoping for the second Protect, which fails, and as expected, Dialga and Palkia both target Mailman, and somehow it took it like a champ thanks to Dialga using Flash Cannon instead of Roar of Time. Dinky gets off another Moonblast, and Palkia is now low on HP. Mailman baits the attack one last time, securing our kill on Palkia, while I switch Nugget in for Mailman, who takes the Urisphere with no problem, and after that, Dinky gets another Moonblast. I use Protect with Nugget, but I made the wrong call, and it looks like Dialga goes for a hit on Dinky, and then gets another Moonblast on him. Next, Nugget uses Fly. Dinky is hit with an Earth Power, but it's no issue as I get a recover off after the hit. I hit with Fly, which does basically nothing, and then avoid the Earth Power from Dialga. What an idiot! And get another Moonblast off, taking down the Dialga, and now it is time for round 2. Without being able to switch my team around at all, we now face Cyrus with his regular team. He brings out the Crobat while I send out Mailman. I take a Brave Bird while I hit with the Hurricane. I then switch to Donk Bonkers, tank the Brave Bird, and then hit with the Rock Climb to get a KO on the Crobat. He sends out Gyarados, and I pivot into Moo, who is hit with an Aqua Tail. But I proc the ability and paralyze him, and now, with the Guaranteed Thunder, I get the one-hit KO on his Pokemon. He then sends out Weavile, and in this game, Ampharos is also Dragon, so an Ice move will definitely take me out for sure. So I pivot into Dinky, who takes out the Weavile. He then sends out Magnezone next. I pivot into Nugget to nullify the Thunderbolt, and then I take him out with an Earthquake next. Houndoom comes out, gets off a nasty plot, and then lives my Earthquake. Believing he's gonna heal, I go for the attack, but he actually goes for the throat and almost takes out Nugget. Oh, that was a close one. And after I take out the Houndoom, the Honchkrow comes out and I U-turn and switch into Moo. Moo is hit with Brave Bird and luckily lives, as well as getting off another Paralyze. On that, the Honchkrow goes down with the Guaranteed Thunder, and with that, we have taken down Cyrus. This section of the game was really challenging and fun, and I'm really looking forward to the next gym battle we have, as I'm hoping it'll be just as hard. Yeah, so define hard. Yeah, not really. Now maybe this fight was just a bit too easy because I'm the second best Nuzlocker in the world, but I noticed that his first Pokemon had a Focus Sash. So I knew if I sent out Doge, hit him with the Drain Punch, he would barely live. Knowing he will heal the next turn, I get off a Swords Dance, and because all of his Pokemon are all frail, I'm able to one-shot all of them with extreme speed. And like that, we defeated the 8th gym leader. And then we make our way to Victory Road. Wait, who are you?
He's just standing there, menacingly.
We then go and meet up with Marley. Oh cool, that's my dog's name. Beat the dope, run back through the tunnel, and make our way to the Pokemon League. Now something cool about this Elite Four is that each team has multiple variants of the teams you could get, and they were all decided at random. So I have no clue what these trainers are gonna lead with, but I gotta be ready for every variant the game could throw at me. And now it's time to go against the Elite Four. First up was Aaron, and I lead with Captain, who uses Eruption and gets the kill. Yeah, so the fact that I can give Captain Eruption really breaks him in this game. It's a base 150 damage move at full HP, and it becomes 300 when you account adaptability into that, and then with the super effective hit, that becomes 600. And including my speed nature, yeah, we sort of just one-shot his whole team. That's my boy, Captain. Next up was Bertha, which I came up with a great strategy that I believe could handle almost any team she threw at me. I begin the fight leading with Doge, while she sends out Hippowdon. I use Swords Dance, and while I get hit with an Earthquake, obviously I knew that this would one-shot, so I gave him a Focus Sash before the battle, and thanks to Lucario being a Steel type, I'm able to avoid the chip damage from a Sandstorm. Now with +2 attack and adaptability Drain Punch, this should be an easy kill. Well, there goes my plan. Or not. What the heck, why do you use Crunch? Now anticipating a Hyper Potion, I use a Swords Dance, and I'm actually able to get the one-shot this time, and heal up to almost full HP. Next up was Donphan, who I got the one-shot on with the Drain Punch. Wishcash came out, and you know what happened. Next up, and I'm lucky again, her Golem came out, and because it had Sturdy, I needed to switch. Or at least I thought I did, because I believed that they had fixed it in Gen 4, but it turns out they hadn't. But oh well, it doesn't matter because I switched into Nugget, avoid the Earthquake, and then pull 2 Uno reverse cards on him to take him out. Last was a Rhyperior, who I switch into Dinky to finish the job, and with a few Surfs, her final Pokemon goes down. Next up was Flint, who actually has fire types in this game. First up was Torkoal, so he was able to set the sun, and now I know what team I got. I had sent out Nugget and got the easy Earthquake on him, and then took out his first Pokemon. Next up was Typhlosion, but we only got room for one Captain around here, so after tanking a Solar Beam, Nugget gets another one-shot with an Earthquake. He then brought out his Drifblim, and I U-turn into Typhlosion, who luckily avoids the Hurricane. And what else do you expect? With one Eruption, Typhlosion gets a one-hit KO, with the burning sunlight behind him. Next out was the Arcanine, and to make sure I can keep Captain at max HP, I pivot into Dinky to tank a fire attack, and then bait out the Wild Charge, where I from here can switch into Nugget, who nullifies the electric attack. I use Protect to get back to full HP, and then I'm ready to attack, or Protect again. Yep, I fail that, and I'm hit again. Yeah, so I was sort of mashing and used Protect again by accident, but after I used another Protect to gain a bit more health back, I'm able to take him out with an Earthquake. Next up was Houndoom, and I switched into Doobie-Doo to take the attack, which really happened to be my lucky day, since instead of it being Fire Blast, he used Dark Pulse, and since he was Scarfed, he was locked into using that move. So I get a Toxic off, and then switch into Dinky to try to take him out, but I hit him into the red and he heals up. He then switches to Magmortar, which I get a Moonblast on him, and the only good thing about it is that it lowered his special attack. From here I can expect the Solar Beam since it's super effective on Dinky. However, because it's not a stab move, and the sunlight doesn't buff the attack, I'm pretty sure I can take that with Nugget as his special attack had already been lowered, and after that I use Earthquake and get him with the one-shot. Now Houndoom comes out, and I use Protect and see that he's now stuck with Fire Blast, which only has 5 PP. I switch into Doobie-Doo, as he can easily tank one, but he misses it anyways. I get the Toxic, and then I Protect the next turn, and now all I gotta do is switch into Dinky, who can easily take the Fire Blast, and after that, he is out and has to use Struggle. The Houndoom goes down, and there it is. I beat Flint of the Elite Four. And last up was Lucian, a Psychic user. Now these Pokemon usually have weaker defenses, so I led with Falco, who had Guts, a Silk Scarf, and Facade.
Ha!
I take out the Espeon with one shot, and then the next Pokemon is a Girafarig, which I get another one shot on.
Piece of cake.
The next Pokemon is a Medicham, which I'm pretty sure is faster than me. So I switch into Dinky as a single Moonblast will easily kill, and Metachan misses a high jump kick here. And after damaging himself, he is forced to use high jump kick again because he's Scarf and misses a second time, damaging himself even further, which means a single Moonblast will easily take him out. The Exeggutor comes out and I switch into Falco. He gets off a Leech Seed and I use Fly, which really wasn't the best idea as I was stalling for another turn that Leech Seed and Burn would take damage off of me. But either way, I got the one shot, so I guess it didn't matter. Starmie came out and Falco is so low on HP that I need to switch him out.
Come on, hands off my prey.
Alright, whatever you say, dude. Falco actually outspeeds and gets another one-shot on the Starmie. He just barely survives the burn damage, but this time, it's time to switch out because we really need...
Had enough already?
Look, if you want to stay in, so be it. I'll trust you, Falco. He sends out the Gallade, and Falco goes for one last attack. And with everyone in our team holding our breath, waiting to see if the Gallade lives, Falco follows through another time and gets the 5th one-shot of the battle. With Lucian defeated, it's time for our final battle against the champion. Now, I had yet to build a strategy for this fight, as I didn't know what Pokemon I might lose along the way, but with a clean sweep of the Elite Four, I was craving a challenge. So I went into this battle completely blind, all in order to see if my Pokemon skills could get me through the champion fight. She sends out her Milotic, and I lead with Doge first. I go for a Swords Dance, obviously, thinking that she'll protect and get burned with the Flame Orb. But instead she sets up a light screen and doesn't have a Flame Orb at all. And now I'm wondering if this is even going to be a challenge. I hit with the +2 super effective adaptability Meteor Mash, so yeah, no shock here. She then sends out her Lucario.
No.
I don't think so, bud. Bye-bye. Garchomp comes out next, and let's be real, I could probably one-shot the rest of her Pokemon with Lucario, but I want to give someone else a chance to shine. So I pivot into Falco to avoid the Earthquake. Now Falco's one cocky little bastard, so let's see how strong his facade really is.
Showtime. Ha!
Turns out it's hella strong. Ampharos comes out next, but come on, we all know what happens here. Another one-shot. The Spiritomb comes out, and I know just the thing for this guy. I U-turn into Dinky, and surprisingly a Moonblast doesn't kill. And after using a bunch of them and her healing, I get bored and I take the opportunity to pivot into Falco, ignoring the Shadow Ball. Okay, and what else would you expect from Falco than a single fly taking out the Spiritomb? Last was her Staraptor, and because Falco wants to keep things interesting,
Time for a little payback.
taking it out with the Facade is an obvious win. But I wonder if I could do it with an extreme speed.
Nope.
And that would be no. Sadly, Falco's overconfidence got the best of him. However, the outcome is still obvious. Doge came out and cleaned up his mess, defeating Cynthia, the champion. I head into the Hall of Fame, coming to the realization that I had finally done it. I had defeated the Pokemon League and became the champion. And I know, if you guys have seen my last Nuzlocke, you know how nail-biting that ending was. And this one didn't really have that same effect, but this one I went in really focusing on strategy, and I think that really showed in how well I ended off. But nonetheless, I had a lot of fun doing this run, though it was a little bit easier than I thought it would be. Granted, I might have been carried by a Pokemon or two. And I know people probably hate this part, but it's the begging section. So if you guys like this sort of content, make sure to subscribe, as, you know, I'm still a brand new channel, and it would mean the world to me if you did that. And if you do like Nuzlockes, well, I have some good news for you. I do have another Nuzlocke that I am currently working on that I am extremely excited about. It's something I haven't seen anyone else do, and it's something I came up with all by myself, so I'm very excited for it. And if that's something you're excited to see as well, you know what, let's try to get to 5,000 likes on this video, and if we hit that goal, I will make sure to get that video out to you within the next 2 weeks. As always, everybody, thank you so much for watching till the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Ooh, this is awkward. I already said bye and I'm still here. Well, anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to check out my very first Nuzlocke that I made right over here. I'm sure you guys will love it.